Greetings, valiant Helldivers, and welcome to the Liberty. I'm your host, Vanguard. Let's get straight to business as the enemies of managed democracy never rest. Galactic War Recap. It's day 412 of the Galactic War and it's SEST 1017. At present, 24,239 Helldivers are deployed in the field. 17,736 troops, 73.17% of our forces, are on the bug front. 4,447 Helldivers, 18.35% of our forces, are on the bot front. And just 1,318 troops, 5.44% of our forces, are on the squid front. Just over 34 hours of the current major order remain, and Borok has been successfully liberated from the clutches of the Terminids. Now the battle for Esker is underway, with our troops fighting fiercely against the bug menace. Mercifully, the planet is already close to 40% liberated, and unless something truly catastrophic happens, the Ministry of Defense anticipates that we will complete the current major order well ahead of time. Helldivers, it is absolutely critical that we get the Penrose energy siphon up and running as soon as possible. If we want to stop the Illuminate from succeeding in their nefarious plans, we need to deal with the Meridian Singularity as soon as possible. Of course, none of this is possible without the requisite amount of E710, so by liberating the designated planets, we should have more than enough of this vital substance to ensure that the Penrose energy siphon goes online as scheduled. Patch 01.002.201 Review, Crash Control, Weapon Fixes, and a little Hoverpack Humility. Helldivers, this week's Democratic drop from Release Captain Karlberg brings a compact but important update. While there's no new content or major balancing shakeups, this patch aims squarely at stability, weapon polish, and some quality of life fixes for our brave soldiers in Super Earth's eternal war for managed democracy. Crash fixes, saving the day, and your super desktop. This update squashes several persistent bugs that were crashing or freezing operations. Some of the most notable include particle overload. High particle effects were sometimes causing crashes, but now the system can breathe easier under visual stress. Scoped weapon stability. A rare crash when aiming down sights with scoped weapons has been addressed. Bot convoy blues. Crashes during bot convoy missions should now be resolved. And Microsoft Teams invaders. Yes, even messages from your 9-to-5 life could halt operations. This very specific bug has been squashed. Troops. These fixtures should improve general reliability across all platforms, especially during chaos-heavy missions. Now let's take a closer look at weapons and stratagem fixes. Several weapons got a good buff, especially those with energy-based or projectile quirks. General fixes include flashlights no longer flicker during ADS, aiming down sights. Energy weapons now charge and overheat as intended. The GL-21 grenade launcher got its projectile drag corrected. Rounds should now carry further and more realistically. Then shrapnel physics were hilariously biased toward the southwest. They now behave properly and spread directionally from impact. LAS-58 Talon overhaul. The Talon got the most attention, receiving a full suite of bug fixes and usability improvements. Reload visuals in ADS are now correct. You can reload even before overheating now. Your HUD now displays ammo correctly. Heat resets on reload as expected. Visual effect issues have been fixed during continuous fire, and a small delay before firing has been removed, making it feel snappier. This puts the Talon in a much more reliable and responsive place. Expect it to be more viable from now on. There were also some Liberator and Breaker rollbacks. In other words, some accidental tweaks in the last patch have been reverted. The AR-23C Liberator concussive's mag size has gone up from 2 to 4, its max spare mags have gone up from 5 to 6, and the ergonomic penalty now correctly applies, -10. As for the SG-225 Breaker, the mag size has dropped back from 6 to 5, and the max spare mags have been reduced from 10 to 7. This ensures these weapons return to their intended balance after the last patch's unintended experiment. Then as for social and multiplayer fixes, players can once again see their account ID in the Options tab. Small, but crucial for support and community interaction. And of course there were miscellaneous mayhem fixes. A bizarre bug where gas-based weapons, both throwables and stratagems, has been fixed. In short, the inversion of movement inputs has been reverted, so there won't be any more moonwalking away from danger. The Yarn Diver Hoverpack override has also been disabled. This was only meant for top-tier personnel like General Brash, not your average boots-on-the-ground freedom spreader. And finally, an exploit with draw kick emotes that allowed players to levitate indefinitely has also been patched. In conclusion, patch 01.002.201 isn't flashy, but it's functional. Stability and weapon reliability are critical to Helldivers' fast-paced engagements, and this update hits those marks well. While some troops may have hoped for new stratagems or armor rebalances, this patch lays the necessary groundwork for smoother, fairer gameplay. If you've been burned by bugs mid-mission or weird weapon behavior, now's the time to dive back in. Field Report. Quasar cannon enters self-sustaining charge state. High Command acknowledges anomaly. In the wake of escalating alien resistance, Helldivers on the front lines have reported an unusual development. The Quasar cannon, once reliant on deliberate operator input, now enters a persistent charge cycle after its first discharge. Though High Command has issued no official stratagem update, nor would it ever this phenomenon is believed to be a battlefield anomaly, possibly triggered by environmental variables or adaptive technology integration from previous deployments. That said, the result is continuous readiness. The Quasar cannon now hums with unrelenting power, preparing its next blast with manual initiation. Whether this is the will of Super Earth or an unforeseen gift of war remains unclear. Helldivers are advised to exploit this advantage while conditions permit. The enemy evolves, but we must evolve faster. Automatons surge after major order failure. Malevelon Creek at risk. Following the recent failure to complete our major order, automaton forces have begun a renewed advance, reclaiming territory with concerning speed. Intelligence suggests Malevelon Creek, once liberated through blood, fire, and freedom, may soon fall back into enemy hands. But while their numbers swell, our resolve only sharpens. Although our focus remains on the Penrose energy siphon, we must remember that our enemies do not rest. Yes, in the past, bug divers and bot divers blamed one another for the failures of pursuing relentless warfare against one enemy at the detriment of our major orders. But we must remember that every Helldiver contributes to the cause. We advise you to really focus on the major orders. We cannot fail again. Every failure brings our enemies closer to our doorstep. It brings the singularity closer to Super Earth. It means that we may lose everything we hold dear. We may have stumbled, but we do not bend. The line will be held, Helldivers. And now for the Super Earth Art of War, accepting the things we can control. A Helldiver controls their trigger finger, not the chaos on the battlefield. Accept this, and you will find unwavering strength. Fellow Helldivers, there will be days when the battlefield burns brighter than the twin suns of Cerberon. When the skies are thick with bug bile, bot artillery, and the cursed whispers of Illuminate psi warfare, when your objectives change mid-mission, when your squad drops one by one, and when your stratagems jam just as the enemy charges. These are the moments that test not your weapons, but your will. You do not command when the next Titan bursts through the fog. You do not decide when the extraction timer hits 0. You do not bend the chaos of war to your liking. But you do command your trigger finger. You do control your courage. And most importantly, you choose whether to stand firm and plant the flag or fold beneath the weight of fear. Remember, a Helldiver is not made of armor and steel, but of purpose. You are not here to survive. You are here to serve, to resist, to bring order where there is none, and liberty where there is silence. So the next time the mission goes loud and the odds seem bleak, don't panic. Don't blame the Hellpod, the stratagems, or even the poorly timed orbital bombardment that vaporized your squad. Breathe, take control of your mind, lock eyes on your objective, and pull the trigger for Super Earth and democracy.